Hey, Isabella, did you see the Artemis 2 launch that's going around the moon? A couple hours into it, did you see that their space toilet broke?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know.
I'm trying to imagine floating pee, and that sounds scary.
I know, like little bulbs of pee.
Unless it could look like a nice painting.
I'm sorry.
Just imagine... I wish I didn't say it.
Me too. This episode is presented by GMC. We are professional grade. Hello! And welcome to Casuals, the sports podcast that doesn't care what you know. We think sports are for everybody, and we think everybody can enjoy them. So we get you caught up on pretty much everything happening across the world of sports. And boy, is there a lot to talk about today. I'm your host, Katie Nolan, joined today by the Casualties. It's our production crew here at SiriusXM. We have Isabella, our sports newbie.
Hi.
Chris, our master editor.
What's up?
And Brady.
Hell yeah.
He got his lag issues fixed.
Yeah.
He got his lag issues fixed, and Chris looks like he's wearing a human sweater. He looks like he's not wearing a shirt. Chris is shirtless. He wore a skin
It really does. When you're on the small camera, it's got the like Kevin Nealon in the muscle suit on Saturday Night Live vibes.
It looks like you're wearing, one of those fake, because of that perfectly made, you've got cleavage. I don't know what's going on with the sweater, Chris, but it's working and everybody's loving it. Be sure to check that out on YouTube on Wednesday. We put full episodes up on YouTube on Wednesday. If you want to get, or Wednesday and Friday, whatever, you know what it is. If you want to get a hold of us, we want that too. Casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com is our email. Our voicemail is 646-801-0043. I saw somebody say to me the other day, like, hey, the Rockies fans are really mad at ownership. If you'd like to have me on as a guest to explain why, I'd love to. This is what the voicemail number's for, you guys. I can't have you on as a guest. I don't know you. You don't talk professionally. It's great, but we want to hear from you. So the number again, 646-801-0043. If you've got an issue with your fan base or your ownership or something that you think we're not paying national attention to that you'd like to bring to our attention, this is the place to do it. But don't get in the Instagram comments or whatever and ask us to book you as a guest. Is that wild?
It's a little wild.
A little wild.
You gotta shoot your shot.
You're right. And here's what I'll say back. 646-801-0043. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. A lot to get to, like I said, today. We've got coming up WNBA superstar on the move. We've got the Jets becoming the number one at something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go Jets.
We'll see what it is. And then maybe the greatest defensive game in baseball history. A lot to get to. But let's start here at the top of the show. First with a cough. Because I felt it coming, so we might as well call it out and go for it. Let's start with the women's tournament. First of all, we had a bracket challenge for this podcast where we invited our listeners to make a bracket for the women's tournament and submit it. You know what a bracket. You don't need me to explain all of this. Somebody won that, correct, Brady?
Yeah, we got a winner. We have one winner, no tie. Shout out to Tim. Tim picked UCLA. He beat Rick by 1 point.
Tim and Rick? What is this, a league of everybody's dads? What are we doing?
Tim picked 56 out of 63 games correctly.
Damn, Tim.
If you break it down, like 56 out of 63. Insane. I'll find you somehow, Tim. I'm not sure how that works, but I will find you. There's something coming to you.
Wait, what does that mean? We don't have an official thing to announce to give to the
Well, no, I thought like the last time we gave something away, like we had the Fantasy Football League, everybody like came to us to submit an entry into the league.
That's right.
I had all their emails, I had their names and their contact info, and I'm like, shit, I don't know how to get to
Okay. That's good.
I think I have his Yahoo name. I could probably message him through the bracket.
What? So, okay, check your Yahoo bracket messages.
Look, if Tim's listening,
if you're Tim,
it's crazy.
If Tim's listening, he can email in. If not, and he's not a listener,
right.
then
but how do we know it's the Tim?
Oh, we're gonna get so many emails from Tim.
Email and just say they're Tim. And then let's real quick, production team will just circle up here next time. Let's make sure we have a way to reach out to the winners. You know what I mean? We got so
I got
much
all the way
merch
to the end with
them.
logistics, and then after the end, no idea.
Yeah. So hey, Tim, if you're out there, let us know, and we'll have to send 800 Tims a sweatshirt because we won't be able to verify who won. But anyway, the women's tournament has ended. Where you are, listener, the men's tournament has also ended. But as you know, with the Terminator timeline of the way we do this podcast, it hasn't happened yet here. So we're going to focus on the women's tournament up top, and there's plenty of drama to get to. Let's talk about that final. UCLA just dominated South Carolina. 79-51 is the final score. The Bruins get their first NCAA championship. I had read somewhere that they had won something else before, but it wasn't.
Before it was NCAA championship. I think that was in the early 80s that it switched over to the NCAAs.
That's late for me.
Yeah.
That's so late. But congratulations to them on winning this. Lauren Betts, Isabella, you know all about Lauren Betts. Was named the NCAA tournament's most outstanding player. I think we have the audio of our dear friend, everybody loves Holly Rowe, announcing this at the tournament. Can we play that?
And now to present our most outstanding player of the 2026 NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. Do we have a trophy for that? I guess we'll just use the big one. Most outstanding player is Lauren Betts from UCLA.
See, Holly got all the way to the end, and they were like, okay, we don't have anything to actually, we don't know how to reach out to Lauren Betts.
Yeah.
No, I think Holly did this on purpose, right? To highlight the fact that there was no trophy.
Yeah.
She
Why
absolutely
are we
did
giving
it
it
on
out?
purpose.
Also, why are we going out of our way to name it something different? And that something different is an anagram. Anagram? It's MOP. What are we doing that for? Whatever happened to the V? Why don't we just do what everybody always does, which is a V? No.
In
Why
the men's,
different?
isn't it called the MOP?
Oh, is it? Then never mind.
I think so.
Whatever. It's just
Need to
weird
ante up.
watching both when you go like, okay, why do the women do quarters and the men only do halves? Like, why is the men above the... It's all strange.
Yeah, but the men's are the MOP as well, for whatever
Okay.
reason. I'm
Good,
not sure why.
Good,
but
because
yes.
mopping is really for both, okay? It's
True.
the whole household's chore, okay?
Very
Not
true.
necessarily one or the other. God, do I hate mopping. Is there
me
anything
too.
worse than mopping? It's like, it always feels like you're just putting dirty water back on the ground.
Yeah.
And then also it feels like it's like the soap is still there, so then you got to do it again with just like a water round. Fuck
Like, I
mopping.
need a second mop for that,
Yeah, I think
and then
we can
another
all
mop
agree.
for that.
It's all bad. Mopping is bad. Shout out to Corey Close, their coach, the UCLA coach. This is her 15th season as their head coach, and this is her first championship. This is also the first national champion from the Big Ten Conference since 1999, which is hilarious because UCLA's only been in the Big Ten for 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. One thing I love about UCLA's win, it's a 12-player roster. 8 of them were seniors or grad students. So they did a thing that's pretty uncommon, where they really leaned on their veteran players. The women's game obviously is more capable of doing that because they've got due to the WNBA Draft rules, you've got to it's something like 4 years of school or be 22 at the time of the draft. It's a little complicated, but basically you get a lot less one and done in the WNBA. They stick around and you get your seniors, and I loved that. Also loved after the game, Charlize, Gabriella, and Lauren doing their viral dance routine on the court. I thought that was sweet after winning.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Some people are upset about it because they
What?
thought that it was tacky and it was, rubbing in the face of your opponent, things like that. They're having fun, man. What are you talking
They
about?
did the dance at halftime of the men. Like, this is a thing they had been
Yeah.
doing. They had a routine planned.
Wait, what? How is
Ew.
that? How is that?
There
You're
were
not allowed
people that
to
thought it was
experience
disrespectful.
joy after.
Apparently not.
Okay.
That shouldn't surprise anyone, though, in all honesty. People
Nobody
getting
just
upset
wants
about
anybody to be
stupid shit.
happy anymore.
No.
I know, but there's so much stuff to like actually get upset about, and this is certainly not one of them.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's wild. I do feel bad for Dawn Staley. The win obviously denied South Carolina its 3rd championship in 5 seasons. It would have been a 4th overall for head coach Dawn Staley, who we love. After the game, they asked Dawn Staley about Corey Close, the head coach from UCLA. Or maybe they didn't ask about her, but let's just play the clip of what Dawn Staley had to say about Corey Close after the game.
I'm always happy for people who worked hard, in this game, who are really quality people. I want good things to happen for them. And Corey is one of those people who really works at making our game better. Not just UCLA, but our entire game. So, although we didn't win, I could swallow it because we lost to a really good human being and a good team that represent women's basketball well.
Now, if that feels like shade, if that feels like it could maybe be shade, it's because it might be. Because in the Final Four, when South Carolina beat UConn in order to get here to the championship game, some stuff went down with UConn women's head coach Geno Auriemma. Now, UConn lost 62-48 to South Carolina in that Final Four game. And after the game, you see Geno and Dawn kind of yelling at each other. And Geno seemed to say that he perceived some sort of a slight from Dawn at the beginning of the game. He said that he had to wait 3 minutes to shake her hand, and that he perceived that as disrespect. Now, there's video footage of them shaking hands before the game. I think maybe he was trying to say after they announced the players, that's normally when it happens, and Dawn didn't do that. I had somebody call into the radio show today and say I've been watching all of the games and I've never, no coaches do that, so I don't really, obviously Geno's been to a lot of Final Fours, he knows how it goes, but it just seemed like he was kind of nitpicking. For a guy who ended up getting a handshake, why is this coming up? Also at halftime of the Final Four game, he did an interview with Holly Rowe. I believe we have that sound. Let's take a listen to, this is Geno at the half of the UConn-South Carolina Final Four game.
There were 6 fouls called that quarter, all of them against us. And they've been shit out of our guys down there the entire game. Now, I'm not making excuses because we haven't been able to make a shot. But this is ridiculous. Their coach rants and raves on the sideline and calls the referee some names you don't want to hear. And now we get 6-0, and I got a kid with a ripped jersey, and they go, I didn't see it.
Now, let's chill on the ranting and raving. You know what I'm saying? Let's chill on ranting and raving, Geno. Let's be aware of the words we use and the meaning that they have and any sort of loadedness that they may carry, right? Like, grow up. My main point to Geno in all of this is grow up. And Chris, if at any point you feel I'm being too disrespectful to Geno, please step in.
I will never say that you are ever being too disrespectful to Geno Auriemma.
This was kind of absurd. Who he's referencing? Was it Sarah Strong whose jersey was ripped?
Sarah Strong.
And she ripped it herself.
Yeah. Now, it might have been a little bit ripped beforehand, but
Sure.
she definitely took at it.
She Hulkamaniac.
Right. She ripped her
sideline.
jersey and then was like, whoops, and then had to swap her jersey. But it's like, I get it. Geno knows how to win. I feel like maybe he really just doesn't know how to lose. And, for a guy, that's convenient for him because he hasn't really had to do, like, a ton of it. But this was just for a guy who's been around the game for so long, for a guy who, at the beginning of this game, before this game, Dawn Staley, in her pregame press conference, spoke so highly of UConn as a program and, what they've done for women's basketball. And just, he put Dawn in such a tough spot here. I, for one, loved to see her kind of yelling at him as he was walking away, as what she perceived to be incredibly disrespectful. I know I saw people trying to lip read, and I was saying this before, I don't want to, ascribe to her what lip readers are saying she said.
Oh, there's clear audio. There's clear audio of her yelling.
You can hear her saying she's going to kick his ass?
You can hear her say, I will beat Geno's ass. I will beat Geno's ass.
She would too, absolutely.
I know.
Easy.
I kind of want her to, is the thing. In a world
at that
where
stage,
it
there might be elder abuse, though. He's getting up there.
Fair, true. You're right. The other thing, Geno then left the court and did not shake the hands of the team that beat his team's ass. That you need to show respect to the South Carolina players and all that they did to beat you, which they did fair and square. Yes, Geno hadn't lost in over a calendar year. Get over it, bro. This was just a mess. And I saw a lot of people online saying, this is what Geno does. He keeps the focus on him. He falls on the sword so that people won't talk about what a bad game Azzi Fudd had, or how his stars underperformed. And even if that were the case, you're giving him way too much grace, I think. And if that were the case, it would still be his responsibility while falling on the sword not to put the sword in the lap of the coach that beat him, that then has to go play in a championship game. Because then the whole championship game, all anybody wanted to talk to Dawn Staley about was Geno. If she had heard from Geno, if anything had happened with what her thoughts were on Geno. And I thought Dawn did a fantastic job of going, look, we're not talking about this today. I'll address it all at some point. We're not going to address it now. She made that little wink about, not being sad about losing to Corey because she's one of those people who is a good person. She's happy for, good people. But But she will eventually speak on it, and she wanted the focus to be on the girls that played the game, the women that played the game. So,
which is what Geno should have done.
I know.
Which is, you want to say he's falling on the sword? That's not a positive.
Right.
Like Azzi Fudd she's young, but she's an adult. You know, like give her the opportunity to lose with grace also. Give her the opportunity to speak for her own performance. Don't force a narrative on her that now she also has to be part of this, atoning for her coach's bad behavior and her own loss. Just let her speak for herself. You don't have to be the story. Even if you're trying to be the story so they're not the story, let them be the story in their own loss.
Yeah, well, especially because Azzi's week is not really over. This is that crazy time of year when the women's tournament ends, and then we have like a week, and then it's the WNBA draft. And Azzi Fudd is currently one of, would we say there's like 4 potential candidates for number 1 overall pick for the WNBA draft? Like I said, it's next Monday. Still plenty of debate over who the number 1 pick is going to be. We've got, is it Awa Fam? I've been watching clips. She's 19. She plays in Spain for Valencia Basket in the EuroLeague, and she's absolutely nasty.
You don't know when do you know who the number 1?
When they pick it.
Oh.
Technically, when the pick happens.
I thought it was like they were ranked, and then like it's like assumed that whoever's the ranked one goes to like the lead.
No, because each different team will have their own big board of players that they rate higher than other players.
Oh, okay.
It's just like your fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
obviously different because it's businesses and they actually have like real money and have done it before. But other than that, it's just like your fantasy football draft where like you can have a 1 through 10 of what you need. But depending on who's on the board when it comes time to so for first overall, these are like 4 potential that could go.
Okay.
We might find out from the teams before the actual draft. Sometimes like they'll leak who they're going to pick.
Or sometimes there's like a really definitive number 1, like last year with Paige Beckers. Like she was number 1 for a long way out. Everyone knew she was going number 1. This year it's a little bit more uncertain.
Okay.
So we have Awa Fam, we have Olivia Miles from TCU, Azzi Fudd obviously from UConn, and Lauren Betts from UCLA. Those are like the 4 that people consider potentially going first overall. Now the draft order, it's going to go Dallas Wings, Minnesota Lynx, Seattle Storm, Washington Mystics, Chicago Sky. The reason that's interesting, and we will get to the Chicago Sky in just one second, Dallas Wings with the first pick, they have Paige Beckers. And Paige Beckers is Azzi Fudd's girlfriend. So Isabella, I'm curious to know, do you think that the Wings should take Azzi Fudd with the first overall pick?
No, make it interesting.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. I mean, I just feel like the marketing opportunities alone.
I know.
You've got the 2 of them, a darling couple.
Yeah.
In the WNBA. I feel like But
I do love.
Right.
And maybe being on the same team and being in the same, close together can help.
Help or hurt? So now you're making the opposite argument. You do want her to go to Dallas?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think it wouldn't be a bad pick. Brady has thoughts, clearly.
I love, but I also love 6'7" post presences that South Carolina could not stop with lobs into the paint. Yeah. And she also was just denying every drive to the basket. I mean,
he's a betting
do you need
man,
another
Brady.
backcourt player, or do you take Lauren Betts to just shut down the paint and let Paige do her thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Why do the Minnesota Lynx get to pick so high?
So the Minnesota Lynx, despite being the best team in the WNBA regular season, they have the number 2 pick as a result of trading that pick.
Trade.
It's from the Angel Reese trade from 2 years ago.
Whoa.
That conveyed into a 2026 pick, which because Chicago was so far down in the standings, Minnesota has stumbled in. So they're going to be
that's crazy.
Top of the league and adding a superstar this year to go with Napheesa Collier when she's healthy, which she should be healthy.
Well, and speaking of the Sky, I said we would get to it. Speaking of Angel Reese, traded to the Atlanta Dream from the Chicago Sky. This is huge. She's 2-time WNBA All-Star. You know Angel Reese, the only player in WNBA history to average at least 12 rebounds per game in a season. She did that in 24 and again in 25. Isabel, I feel like we talked about me-bounds. Remember when she, didn't she trademark me-bounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She has her own shoe too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Look, Angel Reese to Atlanta, to the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta, culturally at least, I think that's going to be fantastic for Angel Reese. She's obviously talked about wanting to get out of Chicago. Last year, there was that Chicago Tribune article. The Sky drafted her at 7th overall in 2024. And then last season, she went and did an interview with the Chicago Tribune where she said, I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. We have to get good players. We have to go get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And people were upset about this. And people are upset about everything Angel Reese does all the time, I feel like, is kind of fair to say. But it was a strained relationship between the two of them. So people wondered what would happen, and now we know. She was traded to the Dream for a 2027 first-round pick and a 2028 first-round pick. I have no idea what Chicago's doing, what the plan is.
Wait, yeah, didn't she say you have to get better players, and they just gave up their first-round?
Yeah, they got rid of her. I think she wanted them to get better players, and they were like, we're not going to do that. So instead, we'll let you go somewhere else. And then hopefully maybe get better players in the future with these draft picks. But I know Chicago Sky fans are not having a great time right now. I'm watching them kind of react to the news, and a lot of them are pretty upset with ownership and what the plan is. But it seems like maybe they don't even have a plan. I'm excited to see Angel Reese on Atlanta.
Especially if they bring back Brittany Griner.
I know.
That would be nasty.
Brittany Griner and Alicia Gray, right? Alicia Gray, they would also have to re-sign. But Ryan Howard is there. And I feel like they could really make this could be fun. This could be really fun. So I'm excited for that. Not so fun, the WNBA expansion draft. What the fuck was that? It was like hyped up because we've got these expansion teams, right? The Portland Fire and Toronto Tempo. And so they did the expansion draft. It was billed as this thing that was going to air on ESPN, and then they just showed the results. There was no like with the second pick, with the third pick. It was just like, here's the names on a graphic.
They did the draft somewhere else, and then for the draft show they just showed, hey, here's what happened off screen. Ophelia drowned in a river. Here's what happened. Like, you're coming back here.
It's so strange. I don't know if it was because of this shortened timeline, because of the CBA or whatever. I don't know if something forced this to be like this, but this sucked. And I don't ever want to see this ever again. I don't know there was so much pomp and circumstance. You tune in and then you're like, so you did it already? It's like going to watch a game and they're like, oh yeah, they lost. They lost. You missed it. It was a whole thing. So
everything's content these days, and they couldn't figure out how to make this content. People want this.
I know.
I remember like 20 years ago, the Houston Texans did their expansion draft, and it was like just them. So really nothing was happening. But ESPN still made a show of it. They just like said one name.
I know.
And then they talked about it, and then they said another name. They made it a show. This was just a press release.
Crazy. Could have been an email. Thank you for the half hour of programming. Could have been an email. So yeah, a lot going on in women's basketball. This is the craziest part of the calendar to me for them. I don't know how rookies do this. This is absurd, but it's exciting. And I'm excited that the season's happening. I know I had thought maybe it wasn't going to, so now we're ramping up. Then we get the Angel Reese trade. Bing, bang, boom. Let's not focus on the negative of what the fuck that expansion draft was. Let's stay positive, keep the energy moving, and we got the WNBA draft next week.
Free agency, I believe you can sign with new teams on the 11th, so Saturday.
What's today? Oh my God, everything is moving so quickly.
So they have like a negotiation window, like the legal tampering window, Thursday, Friday. You can sign deals Saturday. They're going to have the draft Monday, and then they're just full speed ahead to training camp.
Damn. All right. Yeah. Well,
and it's like so many players are not signed. Like Stewie is not signed. Asia Wilson is not signed. Oh. Sabrina is not signed. They all say they're going back to, the three of them say they're going back to their teams, but like nothing's written. They have major superstars not on contracts right now. It's going to be crazy.
Can I say something random?
Sure.
I saw a commercial with Asia Wilson and Paige Beckers. I don't remember what it was for. And they captioned them the whole time on the screen. I think it was for deodorant. And I was like, what is this? Did you think people wouldn't be able to understand them? Why is it captioned? The whole text on screen, the whole commercial. Every time I saw it, I went like, what is that? Why is that like that? Strange.
Being inclusive.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yes.
Great.
But you all,
It just felt like if you thought they were unclear, tell them to speak up. Like if there was an issue, give direction. Why are we? What's the? It's just strange. But you're right. Let's look at the bright side. Inclusion. Although I think if you have your captions on already,
it's already
matter.
there.
Let's take a break.
If you have a snoring dog like me, it'll be on.
Is that what it? What do you mean? Because you can't hear anything over how
I have
loud your
closed
dog
captions on.
snores?
Well,
you don't want to wake up your dog.
I can't crank the TV up because the
got
kids
it.
are asleep at night. The
It's the
dog
kids.
snores.
Yeah,
so like
that
I'm
makes
closed
sense.
caption all the time.
Yeah. I also have it on all the time because like a couple years ago, movies decided they would make the clanging and the banging really loud and the dialogue would be like,
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to miss the, if I have to hear every line they say, you got to write it on the screen. But I fear it's making me dumber. Anyway, let's take a break. I'll figure all of this out during the break. When we come back, is men's March Madness going to expand? And is that the worst idea you've ever heard? Also, we're going to talk shit about some American cities. Women's hockey sets an exciting new record, and the city of Buffalo finally gets to experience some joy. This is Casuals, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Hi. Welcome back. Like I said, the men's championship game for March Madness has occurred to you, dear listener, and way long ago to you, dear viewer, on YouTube. It hasn't happened for us yet here in the studio, so we cannot analyze. I can say, pissed at Arizona. Not happy with Arizona. That was my champion, and they were eliminated. They got spanked in a way that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Didn't like at all. Dan didn't like it either. So,
He went there, right?
yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think a lot of people were anticipating this was going to be like the
People were
game
like, this
of
is
the
the game.
tournament.
This is the
and,
actual championship. And instead,
Not so much.
not so much. So the championship will happen or has
Is Dan
happened.
like every other guy my age? Does he rock the old jersey that he never gave up on? Like the old college jersey?
No, Dan hasn't worn a sleeveless garment of clothing in 20 years, I want to
Oh,
say.
basketball jerseys
At
only.
least. No.
But I still go
Even
Steve
that.
Blake.
Even that.
I
not
still
gonna
go
happen.
Steve Blake for Maryland games.
Yeah, no, he has. I got him an Arizona sweatshirt that he likes, and he's got Arizona basketball shorts that he wears
Okay.
that are from college. But never, you're not going to see Dan's shoulders.
He
If you're
only
looking
wears
Dan's
that at
shoulders-
church.
Yeah. So he's not disgusting. You know what
Church
I'm
of
saying?
Damon Sotomayor.
But Chris, explain to me this story I'm hearing that the NCAA tournament is thinking about expanding to 76 teams.
This has been on the cards for quite a while. A lot of college basketball fans have sort of dreaded this, knew it was coming, and it looks to have been, like the decision seems to have been made, expanding the tournament from 68 teams to 76 teams. Cannot stress this more. No one wants this, except obviously the NCAA, because they make more money when there's more teams involved. But we saw this year with the quality of the bubble teams, it's going to be worse product because you're going to get bad teams getting into the tournament each year. And you're just diluting the product that we love. 64 is the ideal amount. We can take 68, right, with the first 4 games, but expanding it even more, expanding those playing games, because this is what it's going to do essentially. It's going to create more playing games.
So Isabella, do you remember when we were filling out the bracket and you were like, this one says it's team versus either this team or this team. And you were like, what do we do? Those are the play-in games where we were waiting for those to happen before the bracket actually starts. They would just expand those. So you would get more of those in that first round that is not pictured on the bracket to determine the players that. So it's just expanding almost like pre-bracket.
Oh.
Yeah.
Games.
It'll be 12 games.
Which
So
nobody
currently-
wants that. Who wants that?
Currently, there's 4 playing games, and they are really no one really
They're fine.
seems to particularly care about them too, unless you're a fan of
One of those
the
teams.
teams that are playing.
They're on
But
like
then you extend
Tuesday
it to
before
12.
anyone has their brackets done yet.
Right.
So like no one
Yeah.
even watches. No one.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is like okay, cool. It's a nice little entree for the main competition.
So what is it,
but
just
you
to
don't
create
really pay
opportunity
attention.
for these other teams?
Money. I
About making
think.
money.
Yeah.
Oh.
Most things, unfortunately, boil
Okay.
down to that. That's also why they play the men's in an arena, in a stadium instead of an arena. Did you watch that? There was like a package about how they practiced shooting in, I believe it was Michigan that was doing this. They practiced shooting with like a hoop way ahead of the crowd because of how different that is for your depth perception when you play. And it's like, why don't they just play it in an arena? Why do they have to move it to a stadium like that and screw with the, but it's all money. It's all that they
It
want.
is.
more money.
And it's going to be a worse product. And
Are they? You said are they
disheartening.
also doing this with the women's tournament to 76?
Yes.
That's
Men's and
this
women's,
seems like
correct.
a really bad move.
It is. And that's what I think most people within the college basketball world have been trying to tell the NCAA for years, because this has been sort of rumored for quite a while. No one wants it, but money talks. And look, in the end, it's probably a good thing that it's only expanding to 76 teams, because we heard some proposals throughout the last month that it was going to be even more than that. And maybe it will be more than that in 5
Give me
years' time.
150 teams. Let
Exactly,
anybody
like-
with a school play. Why don't we
When
all
is
just
it going
let
to stop?
me
You have to put
play.
on
Isabella
something.
deserves to play.
Dunking on
Now
all
we're just
of
like a
you
European
lows.
soccer tournament. Just like
Yeah,
a group
exactly.
of 11 dudes can go up against Manchester United.
I mean, once they started letting, 29-year-olds play, it's like, let's just all play. I'm going to be in March Madness. Let's really make it madness, You can't claim to be madness and be this sane. Let's make it crazy. Isabella and I are going to take on, Isabella's going to dunk because she's been practicing,
Obviously.
and we're doing it.
Especially because you've seen the last 2 years, there's less and less opportunity for these Cinderella teams to make a run anyway. So now you're incorporating this new ecosystem where there's going to be even more parity between the best teams and the worst teams in the tournament. It's just, it's a shit show, but it's what we expect from the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, someone's really got to get in there and figure it out. I will give props to ESPN. I know. It hurts me to do, but they during one of the at some point they were all sitting around College Game Day for basketball, and it was like Jay Billis and a couple other people, and they had like a very interesting conversation about NIL and the effect that it has on the game. It was like one of the first times I've heard a discussion on sports TV recently where I went like, this is actually quite interesting. So compliment to then say the rest of it is all kind of a mess. They need to figure it out. Let Jay Billis be in charge of it. That's what I think we should do.
Yes.
Lawyer Jay or
Let's watch
Basketball Jay?
I mean, both. He's both.
I feel like I agree with Lawyer Jay more than Basketball Jay.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's Brady. That's
That's not a necessary shot fired at Jay Bill. Sorry, Jay.
no. Leave it in too, and don't let Brady send you a
What
note where he
does he
says
have
edit
some-
that out. Because sometimes I watch these back and I notice the dumb thing Brady said didn't make it into the show. Okay, I notice every single time. Every dumb thing I say makes it in, but that's my cross to bear on Easter weekend. Christ Almighty. Okay, here's a big story that's happened. Let's stay in. I guess this is basketball, but it also breaches into baseball. Okay, been a lot of talking shit about American cities. This I feel like has been going on for a minute because I feel like we addressed it on fan service. When did LeBron make his original Memphis comments? Was this like weeks ago? This wasn't like this weekend.
No, it was originally, he had said some things about Memphis a while ago.
On the Bob Does Sports YouTube show. He made unfavorable remarks about 2 U.S. cities, and the bulk of the conversation centered around his dislike of the city of Memphis. Let's take a listen to LeBron on a podcast talking about not liking Memphis.
At 41 years old, you think I want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on a fucking random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like, we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the fucking NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Like, they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon, so Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance was in 2003 if they'd have won the lottery to get me there. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up.
Now, listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinions on American cities. I've been pretty vocal in the ones that I don't like. Hello, Miami. But I do think you have to be a little aware when you're that big of a superstar to not say stuff like move the team to Nashville. That part to me, like, don't try to take a city's team away if you don't like going there. That bummed me out a little bit. I'm not trying to be, I like Memphis. I've been there. I've only been there once, but I like Memphis as a city. I think in general, though, because a lot of players came to his defense and started saying like they also hated playing in Memphis. I feel like somebody big said it recently.
KD did.
Yeah. And I think what they're mostly talking about is like the hotels. Yeah. I feel like they must be speaking directly to the experience of like the hotels in Memphis are not at the same level that we can get in a hotel in like New York City or Miami or any of the, because they're not like going really and engaging with the culture of your city. They're just there for a little and then leaving. And so I think that's maybe what he was trying to say, although I do think you should be careful. Don't say you want to move a team to another city in the state. That feels like...
Especially when you're 41. You're not going to be in the league anyway by the time that they would hypothetically move to Nashville.
Matters, old head. Get out of here.
Bronny's getting fouled by the Grizzlies for the rest of his career.
So then I guess this was more recent, right? Reporters asked LeBron to clarify his comments on Memphis, and he doubled down, and then he brought up another city he doesn't like. Let's hear this.
There's two cities I do not like playing in right now. And that's Milwaukee and that's Memphis. I'm not talking about the city, like the people in Memphis. Like, I don't like staying at the higher center. What's wrong with that?
I love hearing from LeBron and also a basketball. That was incredibly difficult to hear, but he says, I'm not talking about the city, like the people in Memphis. Like, I don't like staying at the Hyatt. What's wrong with that? And again, I do think that's fair. Didn't he also bring up Cleveland at one point? I think he even threw Cleveland
he said, I don't like going back home and I'm from there.
I don't even like going back home right now, and that's where I'm from. Like, I think he's just being like, please stop. I'm not trying to shit on an entire city and its people and everything about its ethos. Where do you guys stand on this? You think it's okay to talk trash about a city?
Yes, but with nuance.
Yeah. Like, be careful. Be a little careful.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I think there was a PR move to the second one also, because I know he caught a lot of flack for the Memphis thing from Stephen A., from Kendrick Perkins, from a lot of people saying that, that he was that it said too much about like Black Americans, because Memphis is very very minority heavy city, and I think that when he came back he was like Milwaukee. I will also say I don't like Milwaukee.
Well, yeah, because he was asked the question, what are your comments on the backlash from your comments about Memphis? And he pretty much said, did you hear me say Milwaukee too? I specifically said Milwaukee also. I hate playing in Milwaukee.
Like, Salt Lake City would have been...
It's MIL, a W, and then I get lost in the rest. I'm not sure.
Salt Lake City would have been too obvious. He backed it down to Milwaukee.
Yeah. Well, and they also started putting cream in their soda, so Salt Lake's got something going for them. You know what I mean?
They did what now?
They do creamy, what are they called? Dirty sodas?
Oh, right.
It's where you put like vanilla cream in a Coke.
And
Spiders.
Instead of just like having sex.
Spiders?
Instead of just like being normal and adjusted, they just do
it's
that.
The soaking of cocktails.
Yes, exactly. You soak your milk in your soda. God, I hate that.
It's good.
I really hate it. What city in the United States deserves to be talked shit about?
As an irrational Marylander, Charlottesville, Virginia.
Whoa. Whoa. People had pretty mean things to say that one time. Anything else? Any other?
LA's a shithole.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn, right before I'm going there.
Hollywood specifically. Like,
it's
kind
of a
trash,
mess.
man.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. But there's cool parts. Every city has cool parts. You're never going to win people over by going like, I hate this entire city. The people of Houston, I don't care to hear from, okay? Your city sucks. It's 2 concentric circles with no zoning laws. It makes no sense. Your highways make no sense.
But it's also bigger than all of Connecticut. So yes, there are probably awesome parts of Houston you've never seen.
Sure, probably. Hate it there. Also funny, doesn't the NBA famously have a haunted hotel? Is it Oklahoma City?
I know the Brewers. The Brewers visiting
Milwaukee.
hotel in Milwaukee is the haunted one.
I thought Oklahoma City had a haunted, famously haunted, or no, San Antonio? Who is it that's got the NBA haunted hotel that all the teams, whenever they stay there, they're like, this is legit haunted.
Yeah, it's the Pfizer Hotel in Milwaukee and the Skirvin Hotel.
That's
the
the one I
Skirvin
think
Hilton in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Skirvin Hotel. Scary. But I guess LeBron loves ghosts. Spread that rumor.
The number of baseball players who have a story like, yeah, it's weird. Like, we were staying there and on like night 2 of the road trip, like I woke up and there was just like an old woman in a dress sitting at the corner of my bed.
Okay.
And I'm like, why is this so normal?
Not going to work the next day. Absolutely skipping a day of work. Now, let's move on from LeBron to Gary Cohen. So the Mets lost 2-1 to the St. Louis Cardinals on Wednesday afternoon. And SNY, which is the Mets home broadcast, shared a live camera shot of is it the Kiner Memorial Fountain? We'll assume.
Sure.
And runner statue with the famous Gateway Arch in the background. The image prompted Mets play-by-play voice Gary Cohen to, let's say, take note of the lack of people in the area. Let's listen.
The only thing missing from that picture, as is often missing from every picture we show of downtown St. Louis, no people.
No people. Well, you know, they want it to look picturesque. You can see a car driving by on the right. That's the only sign of life.
But there's never anybody walking around in downtown St. Louis.
It's not very often, you're right.
It's like, remember the old neutron bomb that wouldn't knock down buildings but just would eliminate all the people? It's like one of those hit St. Louis.
Remember that old thing that we all fear every day now?
That bomb
remember that old
hits
thing?
the city. The buildings are fine, but all the people die? It's like that. Listen, I think up until the neutron bomb, I would be fine with it. It is sort of just stating the truth, a sad truth about St. Louis. St. Louis is one of the American cities that has experienced like a huge exodus from the city. Their population in a small span of time went from like a lot to a little. I saw a lady kind of really upset about this somewhere on one of the things I scrolled this weekend, God knows where, but a fan that was like really, she was really upset by it. And I think the neutron bomb comment I could get to a point where I go like, can we not? I'm just trying to watch a baseball game. But I don't know. What do you think about this from Gary Cohen? Is this okay or is this not? It's like you're in the city for the game. Maybe we don't talk about how like nobody is there.
Yeah.
You know, just like lose your little game and go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with
Gary.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the commentary they do, I've noticed. As someone who's been watching more baseball
Let's
lately,
Let's go. We love this.
I'm just like some of the conversations they have in the middle of I don't know, players being at bat or something like that. Are so random. Like they'll just like zoom in on people and be like, that little girl eating her ice cream. Oh, she wants to give some to mom.
Oh, someday we
You
have to
ever
play.
had a Neapolitan Ron?
Someday we have to play for Isabella the Jerry Remy pizza clip. Can someone just make a note of that somewhere? That one day we will show Isabella.
Let's just create a show Isabella doc.
Yes, maybe my favorite moment of this type of thing where they go to a fan and they're like
Just
commenting
analyzing them.
It's so funny, you're gonna lose your mind.
You think this happens a lot in baseball. Imagine what happens in Test cricket. 5 days,
Ooh,
10 hours a
Jesus.
day.
They go around
trying
and
to
they
fill
talk about
time.
they name every single person in the
Every
stadium.
single
They
fan.
read off, and we're joined today by, and they just go through the whole entire, because they have time for it. All right, so that was a little segment we call Your City Sucks. What do you want me to tell you?
It's okay to hate a city, just not compare it to a city that has been annihilated by nuclear
Right,
warfare.
especially at such a trying time when
Yeah.
our president is saying absolutely absurd stuff on the internet to other countries. Just the wildest threats you've ever heard on the social media platform that only he uses. Just really something. Exciting news in women's hockey. That's called a transition. That's what we do there, okay? What an exciting time for women's... Support women's hockey! Support women's hockey! Support women's hockey!
That was so cute.
Yee. The tiny little girls sold out Madison Square Garden.
Woo!
They set a new record on Saturday. The Seattle Torrent played the New York Sirens and sold out 18,006. I love it. The Six.
So important.
Shout out to the Six at Madison Square Garden. This is the new attendance record for women's professional hockey in the United States, topping the previous mark of 17,335, which was set at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle on February 27th, which was right after the women won gold, and I guess the men did too. The Sirens won this game 2-1 in a shootout. It was such an electric crowd. Isabella, at one point they played one of the songs from Heated Rivalry.
I
Did you
saw
see?
that. All the things she said.
The crowd was going nuts.
Yeah, so cute.
The energy, the environment were all awesome. It looked like everybody had a blast. It was a great game. I saw there was a point where I think Hillary Knight, it looked like she scored. Then they called the goal back because there was like a a scrum happening at the other end of the ice. Two of the women had hit each other. It was a crazy game, high energy. We love to see it. The Sirens, did I say this? They won 2-1 in a shootout. Just huge for women's hockey, and we love it. Chris, can you check the standings right now of the PWHL? I think the Fleet clinched sooner than anybody has ever clinched in the PWHL. So I know Boston's sitting pretty. Has anybody else clinched?
Yeah, the Montreal Victoire,
Okay.
they're first in the standings. They've clinched. Boston second, they've clinched. Minnesota Frost third, they have clinched.
Okay. So just keeping an eye on women's hockey and the PWHL. And we're doing that because the men of the Detroit Red Wings told us to. And thank you to them for that.
I stand by it. That Victoire jersey is possibly
sick.
the best in
It
all
is
of
sick.
sports.
I hate Montreal having a cool jersey. It
is
really
so
hurts me in my
clean.
soul, but it's sick. But the Fleet's nice too. You don't like it as much.
It's nice.
Ew.
It's not like that's
Ew, Brady.
elite.
Whatever.
It's all time.
I know Victoire is pretty sick.
Oh, it is cute.
And the Scepters, the Toronto team, they've got like Taylor Swift looking stuff going on with their logo. It's like a TS and it's got gold.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Isabella does not like it.
Not really feeling
Okay,
it.
not for her, and that's fine.
And that's
Don't-
why we're
they'll
all
come for
different.
you. They're gonna come
The
for
Skep
you.
trays.
They're gonna come for you.
Whatever.
By the way, I don't know if anyone saw everyone losing their mind at me in the comments of that Detroit Red Wings video. Which, by the way, was
Why?
just- because they were like, "Wow, as always with women, it's never enough." One guy wrote, "What do you want them to make the font so big you can't read it?" No, dude. Are those my two options? It's either the tiniest font on earth nobody can read, or it's too big and nobody can read it. What if? Hear me out. Split the difference, make it regular size font. I don't know.
Oh, don't be silly, Katie. Come on.
Crazy. These people are losing their. They're like, it's never enough. I'm like, you can't read it. Can I not make fun of them? It's like we can't. Why can't we laugh then? Why can't we go like, hey guys, thanks for your teensy tiny support. We really appreciate it, Polly Pocket. Thank you. It's really gonna go a long way. All right, speaking of men's hockey, only because we have to, the Buffalo Sabres have made the playoffs. This is incredibly exciting.
Whoa.
They officially clinched a spot when the Red Wings lost to the New York Rangers. So shout out to the Detroit Red Wings twice. It's the Sabres' first playoff appearance since 2011, which means, the real headline here. And I don't want to take away, I want Buffalo to be happy. I'm very excited for them. Sean, the producer of What Chaos, the hockey podcast that we love, is a huge Sabres fan. So I'm very excited for him and all of the Sabres fans everywhere. But the New York Jets now have the longest postseason drought in the 4 professional men's leagues, major leagues in U.S. sports. They
Go
have
Jets.
not made the postseason since 2010.
Go Jets.
2010, which is one of those years that feels like it wasn't that long ago. I had just graduated college. It was quite some time ago.
They haven't made the postseason since the butt fumble. That's crazy.
Yeah. And also makes sense. What
You were
gonna say,
talking about
Chris?
it not feeling like 15 years ago. When I was doing the research, it said 15 years. And so I'm like, okay, I just want to fact check this. When was the last time that the Jets made the postseason? And it said 2010. I'm like, so not 15 years.
Right.
And then
And
and
then
I found out.
Time comes for us all.
I
It
looked at
really
the calendar.
hurts. It hurts every time.
Yeah.
Like I'm never gonna. That 2000 falling where it did, it really sucks because it like fell at a time when we were coming of age. So it feels like it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it feels like the 80s were 20 years ago, and clearly not at all the case.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching TV the other day, flipping around. You know what was 30 years ago? Twister with Bill Paxton.
Whoa.
30 years.
Whoa.
Did you guys ever go on the Twister ride?
No, was it good?
No, where's that?
No, where was it?
Universal
Universal
Studios.
Studios. Yeah. I was a kid, so I wasn't. Yeah, the Universal Studios, but it's like you're in this like little like perforated fenced area, and you literally just see outside, and it looks like you're in a.
And that I would have pissed my pants as a child. That would be
I
enough
don't
to scare me.
Now
Make
that you
some
mention it, why was I allowed on that ride? Pretty sure I was like only 5.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Speaking of old stuff and also speaking of hockey, I watched the game when Wayne Gretzky scored his 500th goal over the weekend. I was like looking for something to put on TV, and I put on that. And it was he was like the quickest to do it. I think he did it in like 574 games. It was an empty netter, but it was his 3rd goal of the game. He also had like 2 other assists. He had an insane game. The craziest takeaway, there was a guy out there on the ice, no helmet on.
Oh.
He must have been grandfathered in, I guess, when they changed the rules that everybody had to put on a helmet. And there was just a guy out there, one guy, no helmet. I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
why stand on that, my man?
Crazy. Just put the thing on your head, please.
Like, he sees everybody else skating around with a helmet on. He's like, thank God I don't have to do that.
Thank God, but he had a great head of hair, I will say.
These guys are all skating around trying to kill me. Thank God I don't have to wear what they're wearing.
We talked about firing your coach during the push to the playoffs last week. I said it was not an April Fool's joke that Vegas fired their head coach and brought in Tortorella. The Islanders have now one-upped them and fired their coach, Patrick Waugh, with 4 games left. 4 games left in the season, still making a push for the postseason. They have fired their head coach, and they named Peter DeBoer his replacement. The Islanders had lost 4 in a row and 7 of their past 10, so they had gone from comfortably in a playoff spot to needing help down the stretch in the competitive Eastern Conference race. So I guess they felt that this was what they needed to do. They needed to switch things up. I also have heard that they were trying to get ahead of the head coaching carousel that's going to happen in the offseason, because unlike the deal that Vegas gave to Torts, which was through the end of this season, we don't know, I don't think, the details yet of DeBoer's contract with the Islanders, but we do know there's more years on it. So they are keeping him through other seasons, unlike the Vegas deal. So DeBoer, you've heard his name quite a bit around the NHL. He was the head coach of the Panthers, 08 to 11. Then he went Devils, Sharks, Golden Knights, and Stars. What's wrong?
I said shout out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. By the way, I've been watching more Sharks games. I'm like dangerously close to hopping on that bandwagon. If they make it into the postseason.
They had the game against the Ducks last week,
That's
the
the
nationally
game I
televised game
watched.
against the Ducks. That's the first Sharks game I've watched in a couple of years because they haven't really had any nationally televised games in so long. So I actually got a chance to watch it. Great game.
Yeah, dude. Macklin
Scored 2 goals in the last
rules.
minute, 50 to win.
Macklin
Celebrini
Celebrini
incredible.
is unreal. He's really young and really good, and also really good with the media. He's just like it's adorable. He's fantastic, and I'm really hoping that the Sharks make it so that we can root for them. Peter DeBoer, this feels like one of those stats where I can't tell if you're proud of it or ashamed of it. He has the most playoff wins without a Stanley Cup championship. He's got 97. So it's like, that's a guy who can win in the postseason, but not the big one. So I don't know if that's like a compliment or an insult. But I
think
do
if you
know
ask
that
him,
true.
it's an insult.
Yeah, probably.
Like, if you ask me, like, would I be happy with that? Sure.
Oh, I'll take it. Yeah, for sure. And then we've got to get into this, the biggest hockey story of the week, which is that a woman gave birth during an Oilers game at an Oilers game. It was the second period of the Oilers Golden Knights. It was on Saturday. A woman went into labor and eventually gave birth at the arena. Let's listen to the Oilers play-by-play of this event.
Breaking news. We have word that someone has gone into labor here tonight. There's a baby being born on the 7th floor at Rogers Place as we speak. So someone's going to have a great story to tell. It would be nice to have the mother join us on After Hours to describe what's happened, but that could be asking a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could. I think maybe a bit much.
But I mean, it depends. It depends on the person. Like, maybe someone came to them and was like, hey, like, they want to have like a post-game interview with you.
Right.
They
They
like,
want to
"All
know
right,
how it went.
sew me up.
They
You know,
want to know what the team could have done differently to have a different outcome. Like, what were they going to ask? What were they going to ask? What were they going to say? Why would she? I think she was probably at the hospital, right?
Kid number 2, my wife might have done it for Red Sox postgame.
Do we know if which child this was for this woman? I don't think we know anything. I don't think we know the baby's gender or weight, or, you know, they always love to do the how much did it weigh? How long was it? That's what you say, right? It's not how tall, because it's a baby. But they do like the length, the
they
meaths.
should say how tall the baby
Like
is.
holding up a
though.
fish.
How weird is it to be like, how long's your baby?
End to end. How's the baby looking?
Crazy.
But yeah, so we don't know anything about the baby or the woman. We just know that it happened in the, I can't think of a place I'd least want to have a baby at a hockey game.
Yeah.
Wait,
Really?
on the 7th floor.
Can watch the action while you're waiting.
Yeah, I guess. But it's also like, what room are you? Where are you going to do this? Is there like, do you think they let her back into the like, I don't know, I'm just assuming they've got rooms where they work on players in like the belly of the stadium. I feel like you
Ooh.
would think you'd go to a medical type room, not like a suite where they kick people out of a suite and put her in the stirrups. I don't know how you could possibly.
I think you just do it where you got to do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
you're not just
congrats
walking
to
around
her.
the corridors, knocking on doors, like, hey, can I get in here?
Yeah. Which actually, this is a good transition into a baseball story because a girl that was born on the day, I was going to say that this baby that was born to this woman has to be an Oilers fan for life, just like a girl that was born on the day that the Nationals Park opened, so Washington Nationals, their baseball park, a girl was born on that day. She would have to be a Nationals fan for her whole life. They invited this girl to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the opening of Nationals Park. This past weekend, they invited a 21-year-old girl named Sorsha Lewis to come onto the field and have her first sip of beer before the first pitch. I love this story.
That's sweet.
I think it's so
It
cute.
is cool.
Her 21st birthday, she came out. Now, was it a sip?
No, and the way she took the sip, it was absolutely not her first one.
You don't know. We can't, allegedly. We can't
I'm sorry,
say.
you've never tasted beer before. You're going to slam half a Bud Heavy in one
Bud
shot?
Heavy is crazy. Yeah, I do think it's... Sorsha, you're kind of telling on yourself. That being said, it's in a cool way. So, I don't know. I love this. The Washington Nationals do so little that's worth talking about. And I just felt like it was worth talking about this. Let's talk... There were some other fan stories in baseball before we get into the actual baseball. Did you guys see... And again, it pains me to bring up a Yankees fan and to give any sort of praise. But did you see the Yankees fan who was trying to stack as many buckets that once held chicken on his head at the same time in a section during a game? It was Saturday, and there was an entire section in right field of Yankee Stadium that cheered as a fan stacked chicken buckets on his head. I've gotten one of these before. It's a bucket that comes with French fries and chicken fingers. Pablo Torre and I actually split this once at a Sox-Yankees game. It's huge. He was taking these buckets and stacking them and had them on his head, and then people would add their buckets. He got up to, 50 buckets, I think I saw?
I tried to count.
That's
as
tough.
non-scientifically as possible. It had to be at least 50.
And then every time they put a bucket on top, the crowd would go nuts. And I'm a sucker for this shit. If there's a fan doing something and every time they do it, the crowd is in and goes crazy for it, I'm in. I love it. I'm obsessed.
Remember the game last year at Wrigley? It was
the beer snake?
No, not the beer snake. Yes, but it was like a summer kind of a day game. You could tell there was not a lot going on the field, and there was a section in the outfield where people had given this little girl space, and she was just doing water bottle flips on the on the bench, and she couldn't get it, but everybody was just focused on her, and she was in her own zone, but people were just going, and then she finally landed it, and the whole section of the outfield just erupted like she won the World Series.
That's so cute.
That's like when little kids come out to do like the mini game during the intermissions of hockey games, and so you'll have like two youth hockey teams playing, but on the gigantic ice, and it's breakaway everywhere. Anytime a kid gets the puck and the whole crowd is like, here it goes, it's the best. I love when we care about stuff that isn't the sport.
We do that in Australian football games as well. At halftime, they set up like 3 or 4 different games on the field for the little kids to come and play. But because there are 4 games going on at the same time, when you hear someone or a section of the crowd start getting excited about something, you have no idea where to look. You're like, which game? Where am I at?
That's stressful. That one's
I've been to very
out.
few rodeos in my life, but those are my favorite parts of
many
rodeos.
would you say that you've been to?
2.
Okay.
But
More
the
than
Mutton
me.
Busters. The Mutton Busters in between like rodeo events is just little kids riding sheep. Just tiny kids riding sheep out and around the barrels, seeing how long they can hang on the sheep. It's amazing.
Wait a second. Can we make Isabella a baby again so she can do that?
Sure.
Can we go back in time and have you mutton jump? Mutton jump?
Mutton bust.
Mutton bust. That
Okay.
sounds crazy. Okay, one last fan thing. Did you see Giants catcher Daniel, is it Susac, Brady?
Yeah.
Daniel Susac made his first MLB start on Thursday, but his 2-year-old nephew, Chuck, went viral because he was throwing a temper tantrum in his parents' arms while they were celebrating Daniel's 3rd hit. The video was everywhere. The kid is miserable. Now, I don't have any kids, so I'm going to defer to the parents here. I saw one person go like, that baby's really uncomfortable and someone should be... That kid's just having a tantrum, right? That's not like they're not hurting him.
That kid's 2. It's a terrible 2.
That kid's 2 and a nightmare to be around.
We are entering the terrible 2s right now, and it is absolute unmitigated chaos.
I can't imagine. I really,
And
not
there
to
is
chaperone and
insanity.
hate on kids, not to be a full kid hater, but at 2, you're like, they don't know, and they're only starting to kind of know, and all they really know is that screaming gets attention, and then I think they just do it, right?
Oh, they know exactly what they're not supposed to do, and then they do it. Whatever they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you just got to start the timer and be like, all right, well, got about 4.5 minutes of this until he's conked out. And that just happened to be when Daniel got his hit. Yeah. They're just slinging that kid around. He's just got him in his arm, flinging
It's like, you're not going to ruin this for us, Chuck.
Because
come on, dude.
As soon as you put that kid down, just bolts.
Where?
Just off into the distance.
Why? Where are they going all the
Wherever.
time? Movers
I don't know.
and shakers, these
They
children.
just want to go somewhere that's not where you want them to be.
They've got
That's
to
what it
be
is.
free. Set me free. Okay, so those are the fun fan stories. Then, Isabella, this was tweeted at me. Somebody said you got to make sure you show this to Isabella. The Rockies have announced they've got a Glizzilla.
Huh?
They unveiled their Glizzilla this weekend. And don't worry, it wasn't like an unsolicited dick pic. It is a 1 pound. I don't know. The Rockies unveiled their Glizzilla. I'm like, okay.
What the fuck?
Yikes.
I'm scared.
A 1 pound, 23-inch all beef hot dog with a 19-inch sub roll for $45.
I don't want all that glizz.
That's too much glizz.
Don't glizz it up. I don't like it.
Over glizzing. The Rockies broadcasters ate it Lady and the Tramp style. They ate it from the ends and met in the middle.
Don't know if we needed to do that.
Don't know if I needed it, but I got it, you know?
Okay, happy Glizzilla.
Somebody out there really thought you'd like that, so.
Okay, well, don't assume anything about me, sir.
Yeah. Right. Or ma'am. I don't actually remember. It was sent to me in
okay.
a tweet. Let's talk about the actual baseball. Joe Adell. Wow. Joe Adell for the Angels. Did you see this? I think most people must have because of the amount of push notifications sent out about this story. They're calling it potentially one of the greatest defensive performances in baseball history. It was Saturday. Angels outfielder Joe Adell, playing right field, became the first player on record to ever rob 3 home runs in a single game, including one in the 9th inning. Also worth noting, the game was 1-0. So any one of these home runs could have been the winning run for the Mariners. And 3 times Joe Adell robbed them. And the third one was crazy. They were all nuts. They were all jumping to get it over the fence. But the third one was running across right field to the wall and then sort of folding over the wall to catch it, caught it in the stands, comes up with it in the crowd of people. Everybody was going nuts. Did you see discussion online that this shouldn't have counted as a catch?
What, they thought he dropped it?
No, they thought that if your feet
Because
aren't
you're
on the
over.
ground, it shouldn't be a catch in baseball.
And you're like
Okay, well,
over
that's not
the
the rule.
wall.
I know. And so it was reviewed and they called it a catch and it stood. Confirmed. But I saw a lot of people going like, we really need to change this rule. You should not be allowed to catch a ball in the stands. And I'm like, I've never felt more betrayed by baseball fans. And I did a season of baseball where baseball fans told me how much they hated me. I was like, what do you guys mean? These are some of the greatest moments in baseball is when you try to make a catch. Now, like, I'm not saying you can hop over the wall and run through the crowd and catch a ball. That ball's out of play. But like, if you make the catch from the field and fall over into the crowd, boo to any fan that says that shouldn't count.
Yeah, Derek Jeter is the prime example of that.
Right.
When Jeter made the running catch and the momentum took him into the stands, and maybe he dove a little too far, but the momentum took him into the stands, and yeah, he hung on to it.
My prime example, but I could see why somebody else might.
It's a prime example. Your prime example obviously being...
I don't know, but it's not that.
Now, I know I can't remember the exact verbiage. You cannot... It happens in the dugout all the time. Like
Right.
a catcher will go to the dugout. You can't step into the dugout to catch it. You have to catch it before stepping into the dugout. Otherwise, it's out of play. But
just
if
happy
you're
for
Joe
Joe
Adell and you're going to catch it and then tumble into the stands on top of... You saw what was under him, right? Just straight concrete. Just tumbling elbows, shoulders back onto straight concrete, hanging onto the ball, coming up with him. And then the fan just taking the iconic photograph behind him, which, by the way, hell of a photograph. Just a fan whipping out a camera on his phone, just taking that shot of Joe holding up his glove, field in front of him. It's incredible.
Wasn't it the Mariners last year who had a right fielder who ran into the wall when they were playing against the Giants and had to leave, and then he threw a bat at somebody during his rehab? Who am I thinking of?
Oh, God, who is that?
Rojas? Is that a Rojas?
It wouldn't have been Josh Rojas.
No, not Josh.
Victor Robles.
Victor Robles.
Yeah.
Is that the guy?
Sure.
Who threw the bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor Robles.
Same guy. Also, I saw the Mariners called him Joseph Adell. That's not his name, right? Isn't it just Joe Adell? Yeah.
It's Jordan Adell.
Oh, huh. And
Joe short for Jordan.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brady. Wasn't he like a highly touted prospect that has really struggled? So like seeing him finally have a game like this, I think was really awesome and exciting.
Yeah, he was a former number 1 overall, like did everything in the minors overall prospect. Kind of like had a breakout last year, hit 30 homers, but still like kind of struggles on defense game to game, doesn't get on base a ton, but like this is a huge step forward.
Yeah. He had a game this year, I think, where he had a bunch of big hits too. So shout out Joe Adell. The Red Sox fucking suck. I don't know when is it going to get better?
It's only 9 games in. Man.
I don't care. They've got 2 wins. Like, I need something more. I need a little bit more than that, please. 2 wins. Did you hear the fans at Fenway chanting "Sell the team" during the 9th inning on Sunday?
Loudly.
Mm-hmm.
It was twofold because yes, you could hear the chants, but you could also hear how little noise anyone else was making. It just sounded empty outside of the guys chanting it.
Yeah, which is, it's frustrating because Fenway is almost always sold out. Like we don't want to stop supporting the Red Sox, but like, I don't know, man. Caleb Durbin did a good job with the media talking about like, look, Red Sox fans are mad at me, and that's what you want. You want fans that are passionate, that pay attention, and that care, and that are rooting for you to do well. So I just got to step up. And so I do want to let him off the hook a little bit. Not saying I like him. I'm just saying he handled that well. And he could have been upset by it, and he wasn't. So thanks to him.
Can I just afford a piece of encouragement?
Sure.
Katie Nolan?
What?
Cool your shit. It is 2-7. You're 9 games into the season.
I know. I thought
9 games in. The Orioles are 3-6.
Didn't it sound like he was going to say something nice to me?
Yeah, like I thought he was going to do not like soft
words
love,
of encouragement, and then he said,
love.
"Katie Nolan, cool your shit."
Damn.
You're 9 games into the season.
Button.
You're 1 good series away from being like 5-8.
Yeah, okay. I'd like us to have that series. Okay? I just want us to win to look like we are capable of winning games. We had a 4-0 lead the other day. I was like, oh, cool. I can go like do other stuff. I came back, we're losing 6-4. What is that? What has happened? What's going on?
So last week during your spot with Swilly, you answered a question from Audrey from Massachusetts about when is the right time to panic.
Right.
As a Red Sox fan,
okay.
And it seemed like you were less inclined to panic now. Are you ready to change your answer? It sounds like you're ready to change your answer.
I just want to see them. I just would like to see them win. I would like them to
Audrey.
reward my attention. I'm giving them my attention, and they are doing fuck all with it. So I would like them to start winning, or I'm gonna stop watching for a little bit. I can't be. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
At all.
There's 153 games left in the season.
I know, and it's not. I need them to win all of them. Win out for the rest of the season.
It's so totally different. Like the Red Sox are 2-7. World is falling down. The Orioles are 3-6.
And you
they
feel
were 3-3, and they had a bad series against Pittsburgh.
Fine.
It's one bad series after 500 start. There will be a good series. There will be a better series. There will be many series left to come.
There's just no glimmers of hope. I just can't see what it would be that would, whatever, let's move on. Carter Jensen overslept. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about, he's a rookie, right? Like service time wise,
Yeah.
but this is technically his 2nd year in the league.
Yeah.
He's a catcher / DH. His name's Carter Jensen. He plays for the Royals, and he was benched on Thursday for their game against the Twins, which had a 1:10 p.m. local start time. Because he slept through his alarm and he arrived late for warm-ups. He said, I just didn't wake up to my alarm. I slept through it. Don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks. That has to be one of the worst feelings of all time. When you wake up and go, and you look at the clock and you go, oh no. For it to be for like a pro ball game, all of the people that you're going to have to answer to for this, I would be like, what? Like oversleeping?
I'd be like, I have to quit baseball now.
I know. I'd have to take like a week off.
I can't show my face.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have the coolest job on earth and I overslept. Like it goes to show that it can happen to anyone at any time. I actually kind of like that it's like, yeah, anybody can oversleep. It's at some point the iPhone alarm stopped going off. I don't know if anyone else has encountered this problem. I've seen people talking about it online, and it's happened to me once or twice. It's why I now set 3 alarms every day. But sometimes they just don't go off. And you'll wake up and look at your thing, and it'll say, like, alarm is going off, but there's no noise. And you're just like, what? It's been going off for an hour? There's nothing happening. How did it not wake me up? And so it's nice to see that it happens to other important people, too. But it sucks when your teammate has to make a statement about you oversleeping. So Vinny, friend of the program, the Pasquatch, said, you got a 36-year-old catcher. He's talking about Salvador Perez. A 36-year-old catcher who's preparing to DH, and then his world gets a little rocked. Credit to Salvi today for being ready. First and foremost, we're glad Carter's okay. That was the initial thought when trying to get a hold of his parents. It's a growing moment. And that brought up another thing I didn't even think of, is the team thought he was dead.
Oh.
They were like trying to get a hold of him. They couldn't reach him. They had to call his parents and go like, we have not heard from your son. It's game day. And then he had to go, hey guys, not dead.
I overslept.
I just overslept. Just dead tired.
He probably didn't get home till midnight the night before. I mean, they had a night game. Guys usually go out and get dinner afterward. Probably a late night. I mean, baseball players' sleep schedules are crazy.
I know. And
Listen,
I don't
people
know
make
how
mistakes.
They do. They don't villainize Carter Jensen, okay? Everything, he's learned his lesson. Now, if it happens again,
oof.
I don't know. What happens then? You cut the guy? I don't know you can't keep over. You got to wake up, dude. Maybe you start sleeping at the ballpark. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I think if Salvador Perez told me he was disappointed in me, that would be worse.
That would be enough. I would go, I'm never going to screw up again. That would break my heart. Oy, oy, oy. This is kind of a fun one. The White Sox had a walk-off win, their home opener, on, Friday? In the 10th inning, they walked it off. And the guy who walked it off is a former Savannah Banana.
Oh.
Tristan Peters. A walk-off single for the White Sox in the 10th inning against the Blue Jays. Dude, the Blue Jays are so hurt. Their pitchers are all hurt.
Damn.
Peters made his professional debut with the Bananas in the summer of 2021. So how does that work? That is professional because they do get paid.
Yeah, getting paid. That was so in 2021 they were still a collegiate summer ball league, kind of like the Cape Cod leagues. So it was when he was coming out of college, he was like a mid-round pick, and those are guys who will go play in the collegiate summer leagues to try to impress some scouts. He ended up getting picked in the 7th round after playing for the Bananas, and then went on and started his minor league career. But yeah, still pro ball.
How many?
Definitely
is this
call it
the first? Like, how often are we going to see former Savannah Bananas play? Like, is this...
The Bananas are a little different now. They're not in exactly the same circuit anymore of collegiate summer ball teams. But I think like they're attracting guys with talent. I think it's still going to be a landing spot for like guys who've gotten overlooked. I don't know. I see a Bananas game and I'm like, these guys are athletic as hell. I definitely give them a look.
Yeah, I mean, they can play baseball. They can also dance. I wonder if when you hit a walk-off as a Savannah Banana, if your instincts kick in and you just like TikTok dance your way to first base, you know? I feel like that's in you. It's part of the game.
Never leaves you. You're once a banana. You're always
once a banana, always a banana. That's what they say. Right, Isabella?
Yeah, I wish I was a banana.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday.
Okay.
Okay, now we had an idea planned here, but I'm wondering if, Brady, you just want to cut it for time. But Brady found this story about a scam happening, some sort of a fraud occurring on Mount Everest. And he was going to kind of tell it to us so that we could all hear it live. I actually would like to do this, but if we're running over by a lot, we can cut it and push it to a later. We can do it?
Yeah.
Chris is a timekeeper. Let's do it.
Yeah, Chris says it's fine, so we can do it. Cool. Somebody else's fault, not mine. All right, so this is an absurd story of Nepalese helicopter insurance fraud. Brady, this comes to us from Outside Magazine. That's like a hiking, I assume a hiking mag?
Yes.
Nice.
Hiking and outdoor sports. And they were actually very offended at the other coverage this had got. But like I dug into a bunch of details here. I was so enthralled by this.
Nice.
In 2025, the Nepalese Central Investigation Bureau reopened a 2018 case that was looking into allegations of widespread fraud on Mount Everest. Specifically, there was an undercover journalist that posed as a hiker, and they make a difference between the hikers and climbers. Like apparently you get up extremely high, you can still be a hiker, and then to summit it, you're a climber.
Interesting.
But the hikers had guides that were calling for unnecessary helicopter rescues and transports to private hospitals. And then the companies that were running these helicopter transports would then extort exorbitant fees for the service and would give a kickback to the guides.
Ooh.
So, for example, it's very common when you're on Mount Everest, because you're several miles above sea level, to get tired or get dizzy or get altitude sickness.
Not Isabella. Isabella would be fine. She could summit all the way to the top. Doesn't even need a guide, actually.
Sum it up.
Thank you, though.
She'd be dunking on Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Usually the solution for that is when you're climbing too high and feel sick, you just go back slightly down and adjust. But the guides were convincing the tourists that they needed a helicopter. Like they were making sure that they were feeling really bad and needed a helicopter. And helicopters are inherently expensive as hell. So the 2018 report led to a brief investigation of this and like a small change in their laws and a little bit of punishment. And since no one really got locked up, they continued doing it.
What
the
hell?
They just kept doing it. So the CIB released their details of their most recent investigation in March. And now they looked at 4 years of helicopter rescues of people hiking and climbing Mount Everest. 171 out of 4,700 helicopter rescues, completely fake and unnecessary.
Whoa.
So like 3.5%. And there were 3 companies that totaled 14% fraudulent claims.
Whoa.
And they would rescue these climbers. They would put 4 of them inside one helicopter and then charge for 4 different flights. And they're clearing like 30 grand on something that should cost about $2,500.
Wait, and so they're billing, and this is where you're going to see just how stupid I can really be. They're billing insurance, the like medical insurance of the climbers?
Yes.
And so does that then trickle down and the climbers have to pay it?
Totally. Absolutely.
Right. So they're just taking money from these people, or are they fleecing the insurance companies? Because I'll be honest, that I care about less.
Fleecing the insurance companies, but I mean, that does trickle down to look, I've never climbed Mount Everest. I imagine like my health insurance company is gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not paying for this.
Yeah.
Here's the worst part of this. The new investigation cited at least one instance where an Everest guide is accused of directly poisoning the foreign hikers.
What?
To make sure they needed a helicopter rescue.
With what?
The guide in question allegedly added baking soda into the tourists' food to just trigger an immediate stomach ache that was very similar to like severe altitude sickness symptoms.
That's fucked up.
And then the 2018 report also had accusations of uncooked chicken and rat droppings in food.
Ew.
Just trying to make these people really sick up on the mountain so they would have to get the helicopter rescue.
I'm already climbing Everest. Can we not try to give me food poisoning? Why are they like 3 ninjas like putting Visine in my drink? Can I please make it up isn't also, maybe I'm colliding stories, but isn't there like a line to summit Everest?
Yeah, they're all the way up.
The fuck was that? Everest. But there's like a line of it's like not as romantic, I think, as it once was, where people
it's
were
also
like,
littered
I'm
with trash.
summiting the top of bodies and trash. It's just like stuff all around.
Right, because there's no trash man up there. Once something gets left up there, it's just left forever.
Which is like, pick up your fucking trash. Are we serious? Humans are really pissing me off lately. Isabella, you okay? She's losing it at the idea of a trash guy, maybe?
No, it was the Everest and then the trash man.
That's kind of a 1-2 punch.
Anyway, that's
quietly laughing in the corner. She wasn't even making a sound.
I know, but she had her head down and her hands up.
They're talking.
That's how I knew she was losing it. Okay,
That's your
so
update on Mount Everest insurance fraud.
That's crazy.
It's about $20 million in total fraud.
And so what's going to happen? They're going to jail now?
There's 6 people so far that have been charged with the rescue companies.
And these are
none of the Sherpas have been charged.
Damn, dude. Like, those are the people you're trusting with your life when you're up there. They are meant to show you how to not die on Everest. And I just can't believe that they would, that's really fucked up.
Well, they would still want you to live so that you could pay the insurance
Yes,
bill.
of course. Yeah, they don't
So
want
they
you to
looked up
die.
like, what can I
Welcome
poison
to
someone
American
with, but
healthcare right
won't
there for
kill
you.
them?
Look, and
Make
I
sure you
just,
live long enough to pay.
I hate to say it,
Exactly.
I just wouldn't advise climbing Everest at this time. It's our official stance as a podcast. Maybe cool it on climbing Mount Everest. I don't think we need to. I know it's on a lot of bucket lists, but I just feel like maybe let's hit the pause for a little on that. So
the
you don't
vibe I get from our fans is that there is zero overlap from
You
Everest
don't think
climbers.
you don't think anyone in our fan base has climbed Everest? I bet one
I think our
person.
fan base is very chill
Okay.
and probably light on billionaires. Because we are noticeably anti-billionaire, and you need to be really rich to climb Everest.
Yeah. You do? How much does it cost other than the insurance fraud?
I think getting there is expensive. I think you need.
By the way,
to pay
no
your
one has asked
Sherpas.
me, which hurts my feelings, but Kathmandu, that's the capital of Nepal.
If I ever get out of here,
I know.
I'm going to Kathmandu.
Nobody even care. If you even care, I guess.
By the way, my mom watched the rerun on Friday. Said you were great.
Isabella's so done. Oh, yeah, it did rerun on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Great is not the word that I would use. Isabella feels like she's in that can we end the podcast mode, which is totally fair, and I get it.
By the way, the average Everest expedition cost in 2026 is apparently $61,267.
I mean, that is higher. And then the average United States salary is what? Let's look that one up next, and then we'll say that number, and then we'll go to break, because I believe it's less than 61,000.
It's approximately 64,500.
I was wrong. I'm not watching enough of Nate Bargatze's Greatest Average American game show on ABC, where he gives them the salary of the average American and then rounds up.
So
like,
post-tax then
so much more than
wouldn't
that.
be able to afford it.
I don't know. It's an interesting concept. Okay, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, Chris will do what he always does for us, which is let us know what we can watch if we want to watch some sports this week. It's Casuals, and we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. It's like a yell, but it's quiet. We gave Isabella a shot of coffee, enough to make it through the end of the pod. And this is my favorite part. Chris does this all on his own, and he pulls all the things that you could watch if you're out there, if you're a casual and you wanted to watch some sports this week. So, Chris, why don't you go ahead and run us through your selections for what to watch this week?
Number 1, the Masters.
Ooh.
We got
World Series
the
of Lawn
Masters
Care
coming up this week. Begins Thursday the 9th of April through Sunday the 12th of April. You can watch it on Prime Video, ESPN, CBS, and Paramount Plus, depending on the day and the time. It's all very confusing, but if you're going to watch it, just try to figure out what time you're going to be watching.
Good luck, old people watching the Masters, of which there are many.
Can't they just turn on CBS? I think that'll be enough of a
They're already
coverage.
watching
Probably.
CBS.
There's no way yeah.
Thursday and Friday have 1 p.m. Eastern start time. Saturday and Sunday, pop some Noonas. 12 p.m.
Nice.
Eastern start time, so that's going to be good.
Nice.
One of the things that we wanted to touch on, though, about the Masters, we did this last year, but one of the biggest traditions is that the winner of the previous Masters hosts the prestigious Champions Dinner just days before the tournament at Augusta National Golf Club. The champion is the one who comes up with the menu, and Rory McIlroy, last year's winner, has packed his menu with local delicacies and dishes which are close to his heart.
Okay.
So I figured I would read you his selection, his menu, and we can sort of go through it and see what we think.
Love.
It's a very expensive menu. This is the most expensive Champions Dinner in history. The average cost per plate is $318.
Whoa.
So he's got a lot of expensive things in there, does Rory.
Whoa. That's fun.
but
That's
here's
how
the
I would
menu.
use it. That's how I would use my power.
Of course.
It's like, and then we're going to have escargot, and then after that, we're going to have just rack up get the best version of everything.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
It's Augusta National paying. Who cares?
Exactly.
All right, so
make them pay. Sorry, go
the
ahead.
appetizers. He's got peach and ricotta flatbread with balsamic hot honey and basil.
Yes.
Ooh, that sounds
nom,
lovely.
nom, 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 nom. Yes, give me that.
Rock shrimp tempura
Yes!
with creamy spicy sauce.
Yes, bitch. Yes.
Bacon wrapped dates with goat cheese and almonds.
Ooh.
I'm coming around to goat cheese. I know it's like
Really?
you have to be mature to like it. I know I have a baby's palate. It's just
I
like
haven't got there yet.
It's a little nutty. It's a little strong. It kind of takes over everything. But I'll
love
get
goat
there.
cheese.
I'll get there before
You
I
will.
get to blue cheese. I'm never touching blue cheese or gorgonzola. Get the fuck out of my face. Keep going, Chris.
The final appetizer, the one that piques my interest the
4
most.
apps.
Grilled elk sliders with caramelized onion jam and roasted garlic aioli. Sounds delicious.
And remind me what an elk is again?
It's got antlers.
Game?
It's basically a reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a bigger reindeer.
But I mean, I don't know. That's gonna has anyone ever eaten elk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why'd you both say? First of all, Brady said, "Yeah, like it's hamburger." That was
grew up on a
crazy.
mountain, of
yeah,
course.
obviously.
Yeah, duh. When have you eaten elk?
Oh, many times. It's a huge hunting area where I grew up.
Oh,
Like,
okay. And you hunt?
no, I don't. I never got into it.
Okay, but you're like,
Not an elk area, but like hunters would bring around like game meats and things.
oh, you took from other people's. You didn't.
Oh, totally.
Kill your own.
I have not slain the elk
Chris,
myself.
have you slain the beast?
Also, no.
Oh, okay. Where'd you get your
I-
elk?
There's a really nice restaurant in Boone,
Like it's
North
locally
Carolina.
sourced.
Grass fed.
And they have a whole bunch of game there, including elk, and it's
Spit
delicious.
game. That'd be me. Puh, spitting it out. I don't think I like it. What did it taste like? Just like gamier.
Lamb? Does it taste
Was
like
it lamb-esque?
It's very lean, very steaky.
Yeah.
steaky?
I thought you said stinky. I was like,
No.
what the fuck is happening?
Lean,
I'm cursing too
steaky,
much.
gamey.
Okay, cool. I guess. So that's it for the appetizers. Then what? Then what's he got?
First course. There's going to be some words in here that I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce
Sick.
correctly.
I look
so
forward to this every week.
I'll say how we say it in Australia.
Great.
And then we'll see if it lines up with how you say it in America. First course, yellowfin tuna carpaccio with foie gras.
There's no way that's how you say it in Australia. There's no chance.
I have no idea. I've never seen that before.
You've never heard of foie gras?
No, I haven't.
Isn't it duck liver? Don't they not to get, it's pretty bad, right?
Yeah,
Don't they
it's like
overfeed the
pate.
duck until their liver becomes like engorged? And
Really?
Yeah,
It
I
might
think
be
it's-
illegal in
I
Australia.
believe it's
There are places where
torturous.
foie gras is illegal.
Yeah.
Let's say it is.
I don't think
That's
it's
why I
good. But
haven't-
let's never call it, I'll tell you,
Try it.
calling it foie gras is illegal everywhere across the world.
I disagree.
Okay.
With foie gras, toasted
Again, he does
baguette,
it.
and chives.
Okay.
Great, delicious. I guess if you're into that sort of thing, I wouldn't eat the foie gras, I don't think. But again, I have a baby palate. What's the main course?
Main course, you have a choice of Wagyu filet mignon or seared salmon with traditional Irish champ, sautéed Brussels sprouts, glazed carrots with brown butter, crispy Vidalia onion rings.
Okay, yes to all of that. Traditional
sounds good.
Irish champ. What's that? We eat
Like
some of
potatoes,
Rory
mashed
in the.
potatoes.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's crazy. I'm picking the filet mignon. Everybody else, we go and.
I'm picking that too
easily.
because isn't Wagyu like more fatty? Like, I
yeah, it's
believe
like
that-
marble. It's like more marbled, I think.
And I don't traditionally have ever liked filet mignon because it's not fatty. So I would try this one.
Yeah, but it's so tender. It's that center cut. It's so.
Mm-hmm.
No, but this,
Here's the thing.
No one
Competitive
wants the salmon.
advantage to this because Wagyu, very buttery. When you get like the really good stuff, sometimes they tell you maybe your body might not react to it quite the same if you're not used to it because it's very rich, very fatty, very creamy. There could be some former champions in that room that Wagyu shoots right through.
Damn. Okay, Brady,
careful.
you know what? Extra level of.
Now we're taking
studying.
him out to the course the next day. That's a
Yeah.
competitive advantage for Rory.
Well, while we're
Smart.
talking about pooping, what's for dessert?
Sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream and warm toffee sauce.
Oh, he didn't land the plane for me.
I've never had sticky toffee.
Me neither, and I'd try it. I would try it. But that's not the flavor profile I'm looking for.
What were you going for?
I don't know.
would you like
I'd
there?
much rather like if you're gonna do a type of like a pudding, like this type of I would do like a bread pudding with like I don't know. My favorite bread pudding I ever had like an amaretto cream sauce on it. That was absolutely delicious. Or like some sort of an apple with cinnamon. With I know I'm just making up what I like.
I would take a
don't-
tiramisu, something like light and fluffy like that.
Yeah, but sticky toffee pudding, maybe it's great. Maybe it's awesome. Toffee isn't one of my top flavors. It's a little close to butterscotch. I don't know that I can tell the
Yeah.
difference between the two.
I'm with you.
But I'm sure it's tasty, and I just love the idea of running up a bill when it's not your money, and feeding everybody the nicest possible. We should be doing this every year. It should be like when a top wide receiver signs a contract and they're like, this is now the highest paid. Every year they do these dinners should be the highest per plate since the last one. That should be the challenge, I think.
Otherwise, you're skimping out. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so watch the Masters. That's on all weekend, and Tiger will not be there. We didn't talk about that footage, but we all saw it, right? It's crazy.
He will not. He will likely. He got the okay to not even be in the country. Like he got the judge to say he can leave the country for treatment.
The way the cop was like, "Can we just get you to stay over here?" He's like, "Huh? Yeah, no, just got off the phone with the president." You're like, "Okay, can we just get you to stand over?" You're in trouble, guy. But yeah, get your clubs out. Let's all marvel over your clubs and your. Chris, what else can we watch this week?
NBA Celtics and Knicks Thursday, April 9th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Prime. Hey, Katie, what stage of the NBA season are we getting to?
The pointy end.
We're getting to the pointy end.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's only a handful of games left. The Celtics are very close to clinching the second seed in the East, which is incredible considering at the start of the season, a lot of people were anticipating it being a gap year for the Celtics. I think the Celtics were even in conversations to have the first overall pick come the NBA draft. That has not been the case. They have been fantastic in Jason Tatum's absence.
Yep.
And now in the 14 games since Jason Tatum has returned from his severe, potentially career-altering injury, he has looked fantastic. He's been averaging a double-double in those games, averaging 21 and 10. He's
I noticed you're giving like a lot of facts about the Celtics, and I'm just wondering when.
Well, now it's your turn to say the facts about the Knicks. Did you bring anything
and the
that
Knicks,
you wanted to?
Presented by Isabella. Let's have a listen.
I don't have it.
Let's have a listen.
Chris made up some adjectives about making Tatum sound more heroic. You can make some shit up.
That's not made up. He is a hero.
All facts.
He came back way earlier than anybody thought, and he looks amazing. And everybody was like, whose team is it going to be? What are they going to do? The chemistry is going to be ruined. None of that was true. Off they go to the races.
They're 12-2 in the last 14 games since Tatum has returned.
And then Isabella, the Knicks?
I don't know. They've been pissing me off.
The Knicks, they've still been playing good basketball. They still have the chance to take the 2 seed off the Celtics. This game is going to do a lot in making that happen. The Celtics are 3 games ahead at the moment, but the Knicks have the tiebreaker if they finished on an even record.
God, imagine if they had Dawn Staley.
Or Isabella.
Yeah, what the
or
hell?
Isabella.
Good point.
That was so mean.
So that's Thursday, April 9th at 7:30 on Prime. So Isabella, we're not friends on Thursday, I guess.
Aw, okay.
Is that fine?
Everyone's
going to
get into NBA now. This is the time.
This is the
We're getting
time.
into the fun
Same
part,
thing with
the
hockey,
pointy
you
end.
guys. You got to tune into hockey. Things are going down in hockey.
Yep.
Okay, men's hockey. I mean, but also women's hockey's coming up. Whatever. What else? What's the last thing we can watch if we want to watch sports this week?
Obviously, the third thing that I'm going to touch on today is the FEI Show Jumping World Cup Finals.
Of course.
And the reason why I wanted to touch on this is because of an email that we received from Rebecca, who emailed in and said, for what to watch this week, might I suggest a sport I don't think I've ever heard mentioned on the Casuals podcast, the FEI Show Jumping World Cup Finals. They are taking place this week, April 8th through the 12th, in Fort Worth, Texas, and you can stream it on clipmyhorse.tv, which I believe offers a 30-day free trial.
What is it?
clipmyhorse.tv. I looked it up and I did not get a virus. Just to check. I just wanted to make sure that it was a legitimate
Thank you
website.
for testing for us.
It looked okay.
you.
I couldn't confirm the 30-day free trial. I don't know if once you sign up, then you have the ability to cancel within 30 days. I couldn't tell from the subscription pages that was the case, but I will take Rebecca's word for it. I did look into it. Rebecca continues, I'm partial to show jumping, being a show jumper myself, but the FEI World Cup dressage final is taking place as well. I highly suggest checking it out and getting to see some of the best horse and rider combinations in the world compete in what I biasedly think is the best sport in the world.
What is the difference between show jumping and dressage?
Oh, can I take this one?
Yes, please.
Dressage. So show jumping is jumping. Dressage is straight up. It is amazing. Dressage is horse dancing.
That's what I thought.
It is effing cool.
But is the jumping the one that has the obstacles and stuff? It's just
I think so. Yeah, I think you got the heights and the
the steeplechase, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The ability to like get on top of a horse and make it do actual dance
And make it
steps
do
and
anything
moves.
is
Yes.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't get my dog to walk to the curb. Like these people are getting horses to dance.
Even though I keep mounting her with a saddle. She just won't do it.
I don't know if we spoke specifically about show jumping or dressage with Catherine Blandford, but that would have been the closest that we came to talking about this because there was a lot of horse chat
Someone's
in that
daughter does this. I feel like that's the closest we came. Somebody's daughter does horse stuff. Somebody in sports has
Who's the richest person we know?
daughter who does.
Well, Lucas Zelnick is the richest guest we had, but does not have a daughter.
He would not let us forget it, huh?
No, he would not.
I can't remember, but I do feel like somebody's...
Mark Wahlberg's daughter apparently does dressage.
No, but say hi to her mother for me.
Oh, also Bruce Springsteen's daughter does dressage.
Could have been that.
Oh, actually, she's a champion of dressage. This is
Could have
probably
been
where
that.
we talked about
Could have
it.
been that, or it was somebody in the Olympics. Somebody went to the Olympics, and it was someone's daughter.
Jessica Springsteen won
Yeah.
a silver medal at the Olympics for show
Hey,
jumping
little
and dressage.
girl, you want a horse? Is that good?
Perfect.
Oh, I'm dressage.
Okay, we'll leave it on that. I think that's probably a good end. Chris, we got to all your things you wanted to watch, right?
We surely did.
Yeah, sick. Thank you for doing that. A service to the people. All right, folks, that's it for an episode of Casuals. Is it too long? Yeah. Are we working on it? Yeah. I think we had good stuff in there today. We covered all different types of sports, top to bottom. That's the goal here, is to get you guys informed. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to us, casuals@KatieNolan@gmail.com. Our voicemail 646-801-0043. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. Full video episodes drop the day after the audio, so Wednesdays and Fridays on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/KatieNolan. Love you, mean it, and see you later in the week. Bye. This episode is presented by GMC. We are professional grade.